And 1, all Fargo units, Officer Jake Wallin, Shield 762, it's 10-7, 10:42. End of watch, July 14th, 2023. Fargo Police Department, Shield 762, it's 10-7.
I was imagining the cars that were coming in and the people standing on the road and stuff, and the flashbacks and the memories are coming.
It was a very fast year.
Very fast year.
I would say, for me personally, the time has gone by really fast. And that's just mostly off the simple fact of, like, I've just been so focused on the different goals that I have set for myself that it's helped me really kind of distract myself from the idea of July 14th and the tragedy.
Yeah, to me, it seems like both are true at once, where it seems like it was just yesterday, and it also seems like it was forever ago.
Well, like, looking back at the last year, it's definitely gone by very fast. Been a lot of different things that I've had to do over the past year. It's just kind of made the time fly by. And then dealing with this kid here, and then the 9-month-old to almost 10, the days just kind of seemed to fly by. But then you think about, like, everything that happened too, and kind of get reminded about it every day or so, and then just kind of brings everything back to where it feels like it just happened a couple days ago.
Yeah, looking back, I really can't believe it's been a year. It's flown by, but at the same time, I can't believe it happened as well. Time goes so slow, but yet so fast.
Winter and I think we'll always be bonded. I think she'll always be that special person in my life that loved Jake, and I'm just glad we developed a relationship like we did. And she came out here a lot after he died. She'd show up on the weekend, and we'd spend the weekend with the dogs and in the lake, and just remembering Jake. And she was able to fill those gaps that we didn't know about Jake, and I always appreciate that, and sharing pictures and stuff. So I hope it continues, and it will.
Just as an individual, I'm extremely proud of Jake's classmates. You know, because after this happened, no harm, no foul. If you guys drop out now and decide that this is a career you cannot do. And every one of them said, no, this is what we love, this is what we want. And to me, that was pretty amazing. To see that happen to one of your classmates and still stand committed and say, hey, this is what I want to do. I gotta say, I'm pretty proud of all of them for doing that.
It's been really great getting to know all the families after the incident. Before, we just had such busy lives, and I really didn't have a chance to get to know a lot of the spouses at the PD. And after the incident, it's gotten us to grow so much closer, and I've gotten to know people, and it's been wonderful to have that support. Everyone's been checking in and being there for us and for all the other people involved in the incident, and I really don't know how I could have done it without them.
As sad as it is, we're very fortunate to have gone through something so awful together. That way we're able to lean on one another through the whole event, because not only are we going through everything step by step, but we can also celebrate the small successes together with people who truly know what it's like to go through something like this. It helps a lot to be able to bond over something like that and become really good friends.
There is something really beautiful about having something so tragic in common, to be able to come and lean on each other. And, you know, very few people go through something like this. And so this group of families, we're all together, that we've gone through something like this. We can really rely on each other, and it's been a really beautiful thing. We've made a lot of very, very strong friendships.
When you go through something, if you went through it by yourself, it's really hard to connect with other people and kind of talk through some of the stuff, talk through some of the struggles and some of the good times, some of the strengths. one of my favorite things is when Tyler Hawes sends me a message and says, hey man, PT is going really well, because it's just such an encouragement. It's just like when we were in the hospital encouraging each other, and that encouragement can really push me further and then push himself further.
I think the support that we got is incredibly unique to Fargo. It's something we talked about a lot, where, you know, I don't know if we would have gotten the same support in other states, other towns. You know, it's a big town that feels like a small town. You know, it's something that is very unique to the feel of Fargo, and you feel it instantly. And I love that about Fargo.
What I will say is, with the community, I'm proud to say I'm a police officer here in Fargo. That's not always the same in other communities. And so when I am talking to someone and they ask what I do, I proudly say I'm a Fargo police officer. And before they even know I was involved in the incident, a lot of times they just say, wow, thank you for what you do. We really appreciate what you're doing. And the community doesn't realize that that little thing can have an impact on an officer. We don't know what call they might have gone on or what they might have been through, but ultimately that support, even if we're not talking about the incident, if we're just talking about the support in general, is always there. And I'm very proud to be a Fargo police officer.
The community just shows up in droves, and it's just amazing, you know, how much they support, you know, us, but also the, you know, whole police community as a whole.
To me, just the connections I've made in the community, and that I think will stay with me forever. It really will. Yes, we lost our son, but we gained a community, and that is just heart-touching. So it's built us up, it's kept us standing. And so I just think you guys are just cheering us on and keeping us standing on our 2 feet. And I hope we will always have that.
We had a young man that was new to our community, and just recognize that we do have dangerous jobs. We don't always know what we're going to. When we walk through that door, we don't know what's on the other side of that door. Have that in the back of your mind when you see ambulances, fire trucks, police vehicles going down the streets with their lights and sirens on. Have that understanding that these folks they're walking into an unknown situation. It may have been the 100th time they've gone to this particular dispatch, but that may not be what they find when they get there. And it's an ever-changing world, and these folks are out there working hard and putting their lives on the line, quite honestly, not knowing what they're gonna see every day they come to work.
He's a hero, and he sacrificed his life in service to our community. So he didn't need to be here very long to have a huge impact. And his commitment and his, you know, his ideology, his willingness to serve, wanting to do something more than a desk job, wanting to make a difference somehow, you know, a job that was meaningful, all the things that he sought out to do, really tied in with his military service. He was a total public servant, and he knew the risks and dangers of all of that and did it anyway, and he did a great job. I mean, yep, he was here for a short time, but again, I think he has a huge lasting impact on the character and integrity of our department. You know, a lot more people could have been seriously injured or killed, but for the actions of our department members during that day and the sacrifice of Jake and Andrew and Tyler and our citizen Karlee that was also shot.
What I want people to remember is his serving heart and his happy smile. And what I mean by that is he was in the military, he served overseas, he served here at the police department. His whole life was surrounded by service. And what I want the community to remember is that service meant something. It saved a lot of lives. He saved a lot of lives that day. And so his service, his helping heart saved people. And I just ask that they don't forget. The community doesn't forget, because every July 14th, the thing that I'll be thinking about is not the injuries that I have on my body, it's the ultimate sacrifice that he made. Because any police officer could have been the one that made that sacrifice, but he did, and that meant something. And I wear a wristband on my arm every single day, and it reminds me that that sacrifice meant something.
He gave the ultimate sacrifice for us to protect us, and his actions up until the end of his life was to protect Andrew, myself, and Zach, and the rest of the community. Ultimately, our job is to support each other, support the Wallins, and honor what Jake did.
brand new cop just trying to figure it out. Just starting his life, had just bought a house, engaged, hard worker, eager to learn, eager to do better, eager to serve his community. But he accomplished a lot in 23 years that a lot of people haven't done in their lives.
I feel him a lot, and I see him a lot, and I've talked to him a lot. He still has a job to do. I'm like, you need to be looking after us and looking after your brother until we see him again.
There's no getting over this, and emotions, you know, you have to live with the wave of emotions. Don't fight it. You know, we sit at a restaurant sometimes, and sometimes we'll just almost have to leave for a second and come back in. Don't fight that. Just let it happen, and you don't think you're feeling better over it, but you will feel better if you let that happen.
The grief that you feel, you want to retract from society and hide away and just try not to do that. Like, community is so important, and if I didn't have my friends pulling me out, you know, making me talk about it, you just gotta let people in and let them hold you up, because you can't do it alone. You can't push grief away. You just have to, as I've learned, it's easier to go through it than around it. In the beginning, because we're not public people, it was overwhelming. But as I sit here today, I can say I'm Amy Wallin, Jake Wallin's mom. And it feels good, and I'm proud. And it wasn't always easy to do that. We're Jake Wallin's parents, and we're very proud, and we want people to know it.
Throughout my entire life, I've always wanted to work in some sort of position that had purpose behind my job, and police officer is always what kind of came to me. I've tried other careers, but I came right back into law enforcement as a career path I wanted to go through. My desire to serve, it comes directly from the want to have purpose behind my job each and every day. I don't want to be sitting in an office wondering why I'm here every day. I want to be out, I want to be doing something that I can tell myself at the end of the day I made a difference somehow.